Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Scotty Imp from Shoegum Records. I basically just want to talk to you all about your life and what it's like to be a co-owner of a record company. So first off, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your holiday season to make it. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, where in the world are you at the moment?
I'm based in Montclair, New Jersey,
Okay.
and we're about 20 minutes away from New York City, so we're a hop, skip, and a jump from that town you probably heard of.
I've heard of it once or twice. I've also heard of
Yeah.
Montclair, so no stranger
All
to
right.
there either.
So
Most of
where
my
are
family
you at?
lives. I'm in Los Angeles at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thankfully not freezing my ass off, but comes with its own problems for
Right,
sure.
right.
So you're a co-owner of Shoegum Records, and I know close to nothing about it. I want this to be like a learning session and basically like an opportunity for you to talk all about it, what you've done, when
Right.
you started it. Let's hear it from the beginning here.
Right. Well, first things foremost, I did not start it, but it was part of a band collaborative thing. The band at the time was called Tea of the Gods,
Okay.
and we were based out of Clovis, California. And we, we're just a normal band like any other. And we very much wanted to record and release music, as does most bands, I would assume.
Sure.
But I don't know how old you are, and I don't have a clue how old your followers are, or people that follow your website or product here. But I am, I would say, older. And being in a band,
Mhm.
being a teenager in the '90s, you can figure out how old I am. But this is before the internet,
Yes, which a
so
whole different beast when it
you
comes
you
to
can go back
everything.
in time and look up
Yeah.
what that was all about. So being an independent label, there was different things involved.
Mhm.
We would make physical copies of records, like
Right.
cassettes, and we would press records. We'd have 7 inches, and we would play shows, and sell physical records.
Yeah.
There was no online. Nowadays we're very much taking advantage of Bandcamp,
Yeah.
and we used to be on the other mediums such as Apple Music, and
Spotify,
I think it was Spotify or the other one.
title.
No,
Nah, nah, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because we're not on there now. But
Exactly.
I'm in the process of hopefully changing that. Um, there was some weird things that happened, and it isn't on there anymore. So nevertheless, we're exclusively through Bandcamp now, which has been great because we're able to produce music at my own studio, and you know release stuff as it's as it's made, for crying out loud. I mean, I can
Yeah.
record something, put it out the same day if that's what's needed, and that's been super exciting to be able to do such a thing.
Yeah. So what genres of music or styles do you guys primarily focus on, or is it kind of just like a mishmash of everything?
Well, at the time that we started, it was primarily rock, and I'd say alternative rock, punk rock, um, in the rock genre.
Okay.
But now that we're able to do anything, and I'm able to record at my house, I have a recording studio. I can literally record anybody, and I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but these most recent releases that we put out are called Live from the Car Hole,
Right.
and it's live. I mean, it's
Yeah.
nothing is planned, nothing is pre talked about. Like we might just invite somebody over, hit record, and we we just start playing, and whatever happens. That was exactly what happened with the most recent release
Okay.
with a buddy of mine, also from California, Liam Flanagan.
Hmm.
He put on the guitar, I played the drums,
Right.
we hit record. We never even talked about what we're gonna do. Like what happened is what is on the record, and I think that's really exciting and terrifying at the same time because it could be
Totally.
terrible.
It's
Um,
vulnerable, if anything. I mean, listen, I had the opportunity to listen before this, and I loved it because that's kind of like my personal speed of music. So I got into it, and that was
oh,
that.
that's
But
awesome.
but at the same time, you could feel the improv in it. You know what I mean? You could feel
Right.
that it didn't have a structure, and it was kind of just feeling itself, and one person was taking
That's
cues from
exactly
the
what I love
other.
about it. I mean,
That's
it's
what it was.
very, very, very raw.
That never
It's
happens now. That never happens.
no,
Everything's so
everything you can go
methodically
back,
planned out.
you can put, a million different tracks on stuff.
Yeah,
And this is exactly what I love about it is that it's just completely raw and very, you're just exposed. And
yeah,
it's when it turns out, it's super cool because you feel
right.
really proud of it that you're able to well, you're able to produce such a thing. I
Of
mean,
course.
not, I don't think anybody could do that. I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back here, but I feel like, holy wow, I did something, and
Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
that's what it's all about. Now I mean, obviously you've been doing this for a while. What are some major differences that you've noticed from when you started to like 2022? The music industry is a completely
Right.
different animal nowadays. There's
No,
probably
sure.
10 million things that you find
Well,
different.
what I find different is that it's easier to do stuff.
In the
The
studio
first,
or just the general back and forth?
well, definitely the studio. I mean,
Yeah.
back in the day, you'd have to literally go to a recording studio. You'd have to book time.
Yeah.
You'd have to take all your stuff to a place, hire a guy to twist the knobs and push the buttons,
Right.
buy a tape. You'd have to physically buy recording tape. And, I enjoy recording onto, you know, tape just as much as the next guy.
Sure.
Analog tape sounds so awesome, but
Yeah.
I don't have the luxury of having a tape machine in my studio or the space. So, the computer is really cool technology, and it's just really convenient is I think the
Sure.
word I'm looking for. Um, but the downside today is probably playing live because there's just there's not that many venues. I mean, there are,
Yeah.
but I think it's dwindling,
Oh, it's
and
fully
especially with
dwindling.
COVID. Geez,
Yeah.
like so many places have already closed down, and it's such a bummer because playing live is is there's no comparison. I mean, that's just that's what how you should that's how you should that's how you should see and hear music, I think.
Totally. I
So
fully
I
agree.
mean, I don't know if I answered your question, but
No, you answered it well enough. Obviously, there's major changes, and I think that the changes are becoming even bigger nowadays because there's so much uncertainty in the industry of what to do and how to market and what people want, and there's just this constant sort of fusion of music. Like pop isn't just pop, rock isn't just rock. I think that can be
no, I
attributed to
know.
like production techniques and this and that, but
Right.
everything does feel up in the air.
I mean, that's the reason why I'm also doing this is
Yeah,
because I think, the internet is just a beautiful technology. And I think any way you can embrace it, and I just want to people to be aware of not again, not to be promoting myself, but
Oh,
there's
that's
other
what this is about.
right, but you know what I mean. There's other stuff out there, is what I'm
Sure.
trying to say. You know?
Yeah, I completely understand. Um, Now, in terms of like the artists that you represent, how does that work? Do you keep a roster? Is it sort of like an open door policy if people rent time from you? Like, how do the logistics work?
Yeah, the logistics are just flying by the seat of our pants.
Okay.
Most of our records are completely free. If we happen to make any money, we split the profits with the artists.
Yeah,
Uh, but the funny thing too is most of the artists, I'm part of the band. I it's just people I know and
totally.
friends, and um, you know, but I'm up for anything. I mean, if somebody wants to uh wants to do a session with me, I am just a open door. I mean,
Yeah,
I play music with half a dozen bands, um, and I'm always trying to get people to come to my studio and do stuff. Um, but nowadays it's easier said than done. It's
sure.
not a lot of people are kind of hesitant because they don't know what to expect. It's not a proper recording studio, it's a garage.
Okay.
you know um but you know I had an idea of doing a live from the car hole thing, like a podcast thing, but then I like I do everything, I kind of overthought it, and I thought I might be making my house like a venue. And
Well,
you know what I mean, because you'd have to have
yeah,
bands show up at your house, and
but it sounds
uh,
like they're showing up anyways, right?
that's true. But
So,
I mean, I think maybe that might be something down the road that I do,
totally.
because I love, like I said, I love seeing live bands, and I try to do it whenever I possibly can. Um, but yeah,
Makes sense. I mean, listen, like, sounds like you've already got the setup, you've got the space for it. You
yeah,
most likely have sound equipment, probably the most important thing that goes into a podcast. And
right.
listen, I spend a majority of my days talking to bands and artists all over the world and having that opportunity. I'm sure that having people come in and like, explaining their process, like that's what it's all about. People just want to get their name
Right.
out there.
Sure.
That's awesome. Um, Now I have to assume that like a lot of people in the music industry nowadays dreamed of being there. You know what I mean? Like it was a lifelong dream, but how does it work from you like in terms of being, part of a record company? A lot of people may not take that route, but it sounds like you're mixing the business side with the music side, which works.
Well, yeah, I mean, having your own label just enables you to just do everything yourself. I mean, you're not dependent on anybody. You don't have to answer to anybody. You don't have to wait for your music to come out, you know, in a
That's true.
year, 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a band now with a band I've been playing with for 6, 7 years now, and we recorded a record 3 years ago, and that still hasn't come out.
Oh wow. Why?
And
If it's up to
man,
you, or is it up to
I
them?
I kind of forget what we even did.
I hope
But
you have the
that's
recordings.
kind of out of our hands because well,
Right.
it isn't. It is. I mean, I'm not on like a major label or anything with these
Sure,
people,
sure.
but it's still they will put that out when I guess they see fit. But I don't know I don't really know what they're waiting for.
Yeah,
I kind of like to just get stuff out as soon as possible. Like,
totally. Why wait?
I might change my mind. I don't like it, but if it's out
Sure.
there, it's already done. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I usually just record stuff and zippity doo dah. It's out there. Um, I really don't put a lot of thought into it. I've done a lot of solo stuff myself. It was kind of a me documenting myself learning how to play guitar. So
Okay.
my solo records are me learning how to play guitar and recording at the same time. So that those are kind of fun.
All right.
Please don't listen to those.
All available on
Um,
Bandcamp, I'm assuming.
um, but you know what I mean. I this label of ours, it's not really a wide variety of stuff.
Okay.
It's mostly solo stuff that I've done, and versions of the Imps. I mean,
Okay.
there's tons of Imp stuff on there, and we've put out music of our friends and stuff like that. There's a punk rock band on there called Scalscurf,
All right.
um, and that's like a punk rock band. Um, and again, this is like early '90s.
Hmm.
We've since stuff we put out on cassette and vinyl records. We digitized it and put it out on Bandcamp.
Nice. Is there something like throughout the entire process that you look forward to the most in terms of like discovering a new band or just being finished with a release or anything in between that kind of just gives you energy as a person?
Yeah. Um, well, I kind of like it when stuff is done. Like you put so much work into
Right.
practicing, writing songs, putting stuff together, arranging stuff, and then recording, for crying out loud, is just so much, attention to detail, that once it's done, you feel like a sense of relief. Like you're just like, oh man, like, like now people can enjoy this or not.
Sure.
Once it's kind of presented to people, it's kind of a like, oh, finally, people can hear this. It's kind of a, it's that's enjoyable to me.
Nice. I got a few more for you. I want to know because I'm almost positive you're my last interview of this year, which is great. But
Okay.
what's the next year looking like? Like, what are some goals that you have, or things that you're looking forward to, or things that you hopefully hope happen?
Um, well, goals of mine are to, hopefully this label is more um, noticed online. Like I'd like to get a bigger online presence. We just started putting stuff on Instagram,
Okay.
so that's a new thing for us. So we're just getting them going in that department. Um, but I'm looking forward to some more releases. We have a couple new bands um, that that we got going, and what else now? Probably should have thought of this before I started talking to you.
That's okay.
Um, but I'm gonna still keep doing some live from the car hole stuff, so you
Of
can look
course.
forward to that.
Nice. And honestly, it sounds like sometimes things don't need to be planned because we can't plan our own lives for the most part. Things are always getting thrown into the mix. Sometimes things just happen. You got to keep like the end goals, but it's the journey of getting there.
Right. I mean, I think we're just gonna keep on flying by the seat of our pants. Another partner of mine, Eric Imp, him and I are in a band together, separate from the Imps, and we're doing music together, and I'm excited about that.
Nice. All right. Well, Scotty, I've got one more question for you. And basically the question is for the person that is going to discover you from this, what is an opening message that you'd like to tell them before they sort of dig into the record label's catalog?
Well, man, that's a deep question. Um, I think, God damn, I don't even know. Um, I think you just need to have an open mind with Shoegum Records, and expect to be surprised. Just I would say an open mind is necessary, because we're not a label that has the hits. We're not a label that goes after the next big thing.
Yeah.
I think we're a label that strives for creativity and something different. I think different is the key word there.
Nice. I think that's a fantastic answer. Scotty, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. Please let me
Yeah, thanks
plug,
for calling, Austin.
of course, please let me plug everything for you one more time. If you guys didn't catch it the first time around, it is Shoegum Records. The newest release is called Live from the Car Hole Volume 3. But I also urge you to go to the Bandcamp page, check out all the releases, and I assume it's all available to listen, so you can kind of just pick and peruse
Yeah, totally.
around. We will have the links in the article so that people can listen and share and follow along and just generally stay up to date because it sounds like there's a lot more coming in this new year.
Totally.
Awesome. I thank you so much for your time and I hope to speak again soon.
All
And
right, great.
really good luck with everything. I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, this is totally my alley of what I listen to.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks, Austin.
Awesome. Take care, man. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.